Oh, now it gets. Here we go. Here we go. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Alright, how's everyone doing? It's your homeboy XtremeTony. Welcoming everyone to the weekly live stream for XGWL Live. Here on Friday the 13th for 2026, March 13th. We are open contest here at Station while it takes on with Gemini. We get this party started. see what Nick Gemini is about to do here. Look at this. Ooh, that poison runner from the top. It's like, I'm still trying to share the links on social media. Look at this. Fuck. Watch it. I'm just trying to let's share this reverse. One thing is like this, like last weekend I went to visit my brother. Everything just worked out, so I came back, just been going to the gym since Monday without fail. Ooh, look at those punches. Let's go at the 7. Last night with WCWL Live and a nice German, I saw German suplex. While you are watching, we got a replay of the live stream on YouTube. Yeah. Just to monitor things. What the hell? Why do we have an outsider interfering? You're not even part of the roster. Roll up. Look at this. Look how Nick Gemini is showing out. This is why we need to update the rivals and in-game rivals with each talent. They have the appropriate rival for each member of the roster. That M Bison foot stomp that Baxter held called from the top rope to the outside. The other match I got a chance to see was Slam and Jam poster called between Badass Bart and Bruce Lee. It was an interesting match. I will say that. I just wish that the webmaster Wade Needham would have called the action. I think it was on 2K26. But that's with me though. These were exchanging strikes. So he gets the upper hand here. And that outside got a character thankfully. Really interfere with the flow of the match. And look at that drop kick by Jason Valley. He won the upper hand in that exchange between these two. And talking about the self-proclaimed captain of the Crusader division. Now, oh, nice springboard clothesline by Nick Gemini. Well, one thing I gotta tell you that all you CW Elite creators, that create CW characters, I honestly think these wrestlers be consistent with each of the individual characters' particulars, and Nick Gemini gets to win. Meaning height and weight and where they're from. So if you say your CW character is like 5'9", 190 pounds, you should try to keep him 5'9". Or if he's like 6'1", keep him 6'1". So, I mean, weight can fluctuate, but it has to have a reason for that fluctuating weight. Like, for example, XtremeTony has been like 5'11", weighing 250 pounds for the past decade. Okay, that's just a good prime example. Okay, let's go to the next match. a good opening contest here for XGWL Live for our main roster. Nice, Sarah Warfield versus Sasha Blackrose. I can always call an audible and change the match rules on the spot. Let's see. Let's make things interesting. Let's make it a 2 out of 3 falls match. Let's change the weapons too, just in case they reach down there. I always like the track. They use a trash can and a guitar. Alright. So for the moment, these two, the speed of the way it builds up depends on the pacing of the match. So with a show like a B show like XGWL Worldwide, you definitely want it fast. For your typical flagship show like Charge, definitely at this pace, and for the premium events like Global Warning or Touchdown Tokyo, this will be a good prime example. But yeah, just wanted to give you that because that's something that really isn't talked much about. Pacing of matches, ring psychology. That's another thing that isn't talked much about. Because it's become a bit of a lost science in modern day pro wrestling, and that trickles down into CW. Alright, I'll be back. Because one thing is, I would definitely love to see a proper feud between these two alpha females. Hey, Danny Jackpot, welcome. It's been a while since you popped in on the live stream. Trying to look for springboard clothesline. Also, gotta give a shout out to Autumn, as in Autumn Breeze, because she's the one that created both Sasha Blackrose and Evan O'Shea. Which, by the way, Evan O'Shea is going to be in action later on. Going one-on-one against JC Wolf. And now look at this. Going for a pump handle. Oh, what? Damn. Pump handle Michinoku driver. Or pump handle Falcon Arrow. Because, yeah, sometimes the differences can be subtle between certain moves. Similar, but definitely noticeable differences. Like, just like with the difference between a Michinoku driver and a Falcon Arrow. The difference is just the setup. Ooh, good takedown there by Sasha Blackwell. Like, for example, the Michinoku driver, the setup is like a scoop slam, and you're slamming them forward. Falcon Arrow, it's a setup like a suplex. Just channeling my inner Dave Knows Wrestling. It's been a long time since I've seen this channel. I wonder if he's posted any new videos as of late. And now look at this, Sarah Warfield. Look at that strength, that military press into a power slam. And the 2 count. Definitely 2 and 99% territory. As the match continues, so far no falls yet. Because this is 2 out of 3 falls. But I definitely like Sarah Warfield more of a black and gold than a white and gold, but that's just me though. Also shout out to the legendary 3X, because that's who created Sarah Warfield and a lot of other great CW characters that he's created, like for example, a few of 3X's legendary CW characters that he's created, like Haley Jonas, who competed over in, I think, DCA to my knowledge, in Madison Star. And now look at this, Sasha Blackwell getting back. Look at this. Oh! Look at that! Somersault plancha. There's a lot of CWs who are currently in CW. I can tell you who created who. Like, oh, look at this. Ooh. Like, as far as Danny Jackpot with his original CW character, he's let people create a version of his main CW character. Like, I have my own version of Danny Jackpot. A few other people have created their own version of Danny Jackpot. And I'm the only one that's come up with I'm the one that came up with the Bandit persona when he won the U.S. title. Look at this. Oh! Just slamming her with authority. With the war toss. And, oh. I don't know if that's what the name of that finisher is, but I still like the golden axe for Sarah Warfield. The gory neck breaker. Because I know when to change that finisher, and 3X ran with it. And then he changed it to that Razor's Edge maneuver, that cross bomb. Fucking knees. Sherman has a lot of his own original CW characters aside from his own, and the Blackwell family, and the Tourette's, and Moonlight. Look at that. Sarah Warfield is showing that she's the total package. Strength, athleticism, leadership, and look at that clothesline. Follows it up with a back body drop. And that's the finishing touch with that spine buster. Wait, what the hell? What's going on here? Another interference from an outsider. I would expect like Tammy or Kendall Lewis to interfere. It would make a lot more sense, actually. Look at this. Sasha Blackwell's taking advantage. Look at this unique pin combination. Well, only gets one, though. Sasha Blackwell gets the first fall because of that. Continuing the offense. Still looking body drop by the Golden Goddess, the Golden Standard in the women's division. And look at this spine buster, nicely executed. And she's wearing that knee brace because age is starting to catch up with her. Damn. Good counter by Sarah Warfield. She gets out of the way of that one and delivers that clothesline. And now look at this strength. Military press. Drops her behind her. And now showcasing more strength. And follows it up with that Beal toss. And now punch to the midsection as Sarah Warfield is regaining control of this one. Another gut check. Ooh, nice fist drop. Good counter by Sasha Blackwell. And these two are putting a clinic in this one. And now Irish whip to the ropes. Ducks underneath. Damn, that combination of strikes in the first the knee and then the kick. And Sarah Warfield fighting back with another Beal toss. Showcasing more of that strength. As I'm getting back to how CW creators create their original CW characters. Ooh, nice double underhook toss. One of the signatures of 3X is that he does give his CW characters comic book-esque body types, like a little bit exaggerated with the muscles and covering out. 1, 2, especially in older games, as we tie things up here. Nothing wrong with that, but because everyone likes to put their own spin on their original characters. Me, for example, it's like the variety. I may not be the best with ring attires, but I'm definitely trying to make up for it with trying to make my CW characters realistic. Covered out. 1, 2, and Sasha Blackrose gets the win. A well-earned victory, beating one of the toughest women in CW in Sarah Warfield. Not an easy win. Alright, this one's for the women's live title. As Jordan Michaels going 1-on-1 against Terra Toxic. One thing I've been doing as of late is try to add more depth to my existing original CW characters, especially the original run. Let's see, because I have like, meaning XtremeTony, Tammy, Sergeant Arturo Loco, Brandon Thomas, Jade Kim, Ruby Carter. That you say my original, like, let's say, for Pack 1 of original. Pack 2 would be like during the days of the CW draft, like Trey Steele, Alex Ison, Lisa Vasquez, Kira Lee right there, Sefa Fumatu. That would be Pack 2 of originals. Pack 3 would be like my renaissance in CW in the mid-2010s, like Ryan Justinas and Estrella Azul, Jacob Gutierrez. Who else got created during the mid-2010s? Alberto Diaz, nephew of XGWL commentator Hector Diaz. Jacob Gutierrez. The Barrio Boys. And then the Pack 4 will be, the fourth wave will be early 2020s, as in, here comes Terra Toxic. Fourth wave of originals will be like Angela Maravilla, Brianna Loco, Victor and Vincent Romanoff, but you guys get the idea of of which wave of my original CW characters I'm referring to. Because I didn't create all my original all in one fell swoop. Like, and it takes a while for me to fully do an overhaul of some of my original CW characters, because I've had to overhaul Tammy more than once, from her babyface days to her turning heel, giving her the perfect 10 moniker to the Queen Bee. Those were a lot of, that was like more than one overhaul. And then with XtremeTony, with the different ring attires from the 2007, like the mid 2000s to early 2010s in CCL, and then the mid 2010s during the renaissance of going back to the classics, that hence giving XtremeTony the classic theme song that was recorded by DJ Premier featuring Rakim, Nas, and KRS-One. And now, as we get this match underway between Jordan Michaels and Tara Toxic, and of course all the CW characters that I've quote-unquote adopted from early creators that asked me to have their CW characters on my show, and then they quit CW altogether, and then because I wanted to keep them on the XGWL roster, and I haven't seen the original creators in a long time. So as far as my quote-unquote adopted CWs, like Slash, the King of Hurt, AJ Cool, El Toro Extremo, and now look at this, Terra Toxic as well. Trying to go for a DDT with Jordan Michaels counters. And now, another counter by Terra Toxic, this time into a neck breaker. But one thing, the title's on the line here. Also give a shout out to Lucky 7 for creating Jordan Michaels and a lot of his other CWs that I've used in XGWL and also in Southern California CW. Up to a 5 count. And remember, the title cannot change hands on a count out or disqualification. And Jordan Michaels re-enters the ring right before the 8 count. And now referee Juan Lopez getting rid of that steel chair. Cheese, welcome. And one thing that I also, and now look at that, Kira Lee removing that turnbuckle pad, is earlier today I got a chance to publish another episode of, yeah, how you doing, Cheese? Glad you can make it. And now Terra Toxic about to go for a DDT, and this time connects. I published another episode of Tammy's Dancing with Wrestling, or mini podcast that takes about 7 to 8 minutes, or rather, it's all between 5 to 8 minutes. Absolutely, it was a nice DDT. World Extreme Wrestling, glad you can drop in. As the chat is starting to get more interactive and fun, and now look at that head scissors takedown on the outside. Let's see. And can you please elaborate on what the... Sure, what needs to happen here? Okay. So keep in mind, like, so someone pointed out how us as CW, our little network, okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Now, Terra Toxic with the toxic turn. And now Kira Lee with the distraction. Buying some time for Jordan Michaels as she gets back up. And now look at this. Oh, nice springboard forearm shot by the XGWL Women's Live Champion. Because Terra Toxic is a former WCDL Women's Champion and now getting her chance to win some championships on the main roster. Because I know everyone is getting. Well, a lot of people are getting WWE2k24, and now look at this. Good counter by Terra Toxic, countering the Carolina Clutch. Yes, thank you for that. Yes, and because for a long time I've used Tammy as a mouthpiece for my displeasures that were going on in CW at the time. But one thing is I've repurposed that, and the 3-count Terra Toxic with the win, and still your XGWL Women's Live Champion. Well, ever since the Pofus convinced me to create a CEW League of the past, namely Southern California CEW, I've kind of used Tammy to retell the story from her perspective in my retcons on everything. How I retconned Tammy's story to be part of the wrestling dynasty of the Trailer Park Crew. Okay, let's get the next match going. Live from Blacklist CEW. Hardcore rules match. Evan O'Shea versus Jamari Mito. Let's see what weapons I can come up with. I've never been a fan of using the sledgehammer. Let's use a different one. Alright. Yes, I did appreciate that nice little touch. That was very awesome. So on the latest episode of Tammy's Dancing with Wrestling, touching on how strong the relationship is, and how Brianna Loco is making Tammy proud, and then telling a story from back in the day. So yeah, I'm using the Talkie app to have Tammy retell the story from how things got started, and story from the past, how things are going in CEW currently, how Tammy's proud of the Beehive, Jordan, Lisa Vasquez, and Ruby Carter, and as here comes Jamari Mito. Yeah, I did post it on not only X but also on the servers, on the Discord servers. As Jamari Mito getting the crowd hyped up. Oh shit, I did not know that Donnie Mick put out a new episode of UWO Clash and Smash. I swear, one of the few CEW leagues I watch just for my pure enjoyment. And now look at this takedown by Jamari Mito. Absolutely, especially hardcore rules between these two. As they continue to strike, and now look at this springboard back elbow by Jamari Mito. As you see, a fan holding the crowd of Mr. 100% Violence, and look at that, Evan O'Shea busting open Jamari Mito. Let's see what Jamari Mito has in store next. And now look at this. Ooh, damn. Evan O'Shea's knees took a big hit on that one. So notice the height difference between these two. As Jamari Mito is 6'3", 225. Oh, good counter. And now the cover. Only on one count. At one point, Jamari Mito played football for the simulation football team. Eastern Hyenas cover only on one count. Jamari Mito once played wide receiver. So keep in mind how many former football players have transitioned to wrestling. Like if you take the example of the real world, like a what's a lot of prime examples like a Vern Gagne, Bill Goldberg, Brock. Oh, what a brainbuster, Roman Reigns. Oh, goddamn, Burning Hammer. Ooh, cover. 1, 2. Oh, 299%. as they're taking the fight to the outside. And look at that, Evan O'Shea copying Jabari Mito's move. And now Candlestick is out. One thing is, like, they can fight wherever they want, but they still have to have the pinfall or submission count inside the ring. And look at all the blood everywhere. And now Jabari Mito trying to think of what move he should pull off next. As Evan O'Shea slowly get up. And now Evan O'Shea. Oh, good counter by Jabari Mito and flips his knee. And follows up with another springboard back elbow. Oh, connects with the Hurricane Harvey boot. Cover. 1, 2. Oh, 2 and 99%. And now, with this swinging neck breaker. Let's see what Evan O'Shea has in store. A couple of clotheslines. And now sweeps the leg and getting fired up. Just like how I'm getting fired up in this match with all the action that's been unfolding. And now trying to steady himself and delivers another brain buster. And now the cover. 1, 2. Just 2. Not everything has to be a 2 and 99%. Just equals that close. And now Evan O'Shea goes for the cover again. 1, 2. And what? Damn. Evan O'Shea getting the win. I swear, Autumn Breeze is definitely proud that not only Sasha Blackwell won earlier, but as has Evan O'Shea. Yeah, there's no question that it was a good match between these two. So that's what you want to see. You want to see a match that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. That's what you want to see. You want to see a match that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Just like this match right here. It's going to do that, but in a... Alright, so let's get... Yep, hashtag facts. As we have here, the X-rated JC Wolf, because much like someone that also has to reinvent his character throughout the years, from first being Jordan Collins to then considered the self-proclaimed past, present, and future virtual wrestling, to then X-rated, and then this whole BK4 thing, and now calling himself the one and only over in Phoenix Pro Wrestling. One talent that's definitely a great signing to XGWL, El Noveno. Oh, my neck. What do you also about the Talkie app is it does generate a lot of good, high quality images for your characters. That's why I've been using it a lot, especially for posts on social media, especially on X. And I do recommend it highly. And now his opponent. Here comes J.C. Wolf, being accompanied by his lady, Mercedes. The only couple you see that's married is XtremeTony and Tammy in the CW world. As far as their status, I mean, because they're just dating.
Oh my gosh, you look so great!
And I see there J.C. Wolf. Another power couple in CW. You don't see too many power couples, if you ask me. Or rather, I haven't put much emphasis, because the only other couples that I've seen that are on the XGWL roster would be Corker the Hog and Mary the Sheep, and also Mauricio Peralta and Ava Perez over in WCDL. But yes, absolutely, rarely. There definitely has to work. It has to be a weak point. And now we got standing moonsault by El Noveno. And now JC Wolf back on his feet. And look at that arm drag. Because these styles are pretty similar. Both men are strikers. There's no doubt about it. And now JC Wolf, that corner exploder. And now the cover. Two count. And I still have a few other Discord servers to share links on, and it's already past the halfway mark of the show. Put in the new batteries. And now, face first on the ring apron. One thing, it's been pretty hot these past couple of days, and it's unusual for March because technically we're still in winter. But it was like 90 degrees the past 2 days. Cover now, 1 and almost 2. I almost said 2. So that camera's going to come down the second time. And now look at that. And now El Noveno thinking about what move to pull off next. And JC Wolf coming back in the ring and trying to come back with a couple of strikes. JC Wolf sends him in the corner and double knees in the face. And now look at this. Damn. Goes off that Death Valley driver. One thing is that the Death Valley driver has fallen. It's a move that you don't see too often anymore. But it was done a lot during the Attitude Era in the late 90s, from a certain pimp wrestler to who else? Used the Death Valley driver as a finisher. Ooh, JC Wolf with the hidden blade cover. 1, 2. Ooh, 2.99%. Wait, what the hell's going on? Hey, what's with all these interferences? And I wonder if it's someone from Phoenix Pro who did the interference there. And now look at that air raid bomb by El Loveno. And that's it. What a win by El Loveno over JC Wolf. Yep. Let's get the next match going. An hour, 4 minutes. As we're here on our semi-main event. Let's get a 6-woman tag match. Yep, the queen bee yourself. Because you have a lot of champions in this match. You have Lisa Vasquez and Ruby Carter as the XGWL Women's Tag Team Champions. You have Revy on the other side as the XGWL Women's World Champion. And then, of course, you also have a lot of former champions as well, with aside from Tammy being a former 5-time XGWL Women's World Champion and former Lady Pro Champion. And then you have both Jade Kim and Nikki Cornejo, not only being former XGWL Women's Tag Team Champions, but also have held the XGWL Women's World Championships in the past. Absolutely a lot of history in this one. I know the Beehive are the most hated faction in the women's division. where in her podcast she's very sweet and vindictive valley girl with a little bit of country in her, being raised in Lakeside, California. And for those who haven't been in Lakeside, California, I'll tell you, there's a rodeo on one of the major streets in that unincorporated community. Big old rodeo. It's like right as soon as the freeway ends, you make a turn in one of the big streets, and there it is. And then their high school, their mascot is the Vaqueros. My high school was their biggest rival, with the nickname of the Monarchs. And you see there the XGWL Women's World Champion, the run-up poor rebel, Revy herself. But one of the most challenging things is trying to make a animated character into this wrestler, like in a 3D world. But I gotta do a better job with working on the face, because there's a lot of people that just cut and paste and then have a default face, and you gotta put some work into it. It does, like, so that's why I keep saying, like, if you put effort and emphasis in. That's why I keep saying, for all you CW League owners out there, to be a fan of your own show. Because not only does it show when you do commentary, but also shows in how you present the show, how much work you put into each of your CW characters. Like another original of mine in Jade Kim. And of course the Beehive. All originals of mine. There's one thing in CEW that I've seen a lot is whenever someone creates an Asian character, they always make them Japanese. But how many characters do you see that they're of other Asian countries' origins, like Korean, like with Jade Kim, but I build her to be Korean American, or Alex Ison being Phil Am. As we get this match underway, and here's a bit of a rematch from Global Warning 6. And now look at this shuffle kick from Revy, and now tagging in Jade Kim. Now Tammy with the strikes. And now look at this, try to go for a suplex. Connects. But one thing is, you don't see too many standard vertical suplexes anymore. Hell, you don't even see too many suplexes that much either. And now Ruby getting tagged in. Two former tag team partners at one point, known as the Fiery Jewels, way back in like 2008 and 2009. Cover now, no count. But then Ruby got recruited into what they call the Collective by a 1v13. And then after that was over, Ruby joined Tammy in the Beehive. And then they recruited Lisa Vasquez from WCDL. And now look at this straight jacket neck breaker. that high flying ability and try to be a little bit more well-rounded. And now the cover, but no count. Because out of all my original female CW characters, Jade Kim is still the smallest, being only 5'4", 120. And then you look at all my other female CW original characters like Ruby covering out one, being 5'11" and weighing 135. And, oh, nice running forearm shot. And then Lisa Vasquez, 5'7", 140, ooh, getting the knees up. And then Tammy being 6'2", and now weighing 168 pounds. Let's keep in mind, size is important. And now, look at this, just wrenching on the arm. That's Tammy getting tagged back in as one thing. These two have fought over the XGWL Women's World Championship in the early days. Now Tammy, look at this. Ooh-wee. Showing that vindictive Valley Girl persona. And now Tammy, look at this snake eyes on the Nikki Cornejo. And it's one of Sherman's original CW characters. And now Tammy just wrenching on the arm of Nikki. And now look at this Tammy. Damn, look at that foot choking. Always finding a way to showcase that flexibility. And Revy with the save. And now look at this. That cheerleader leg drop. And now cover now. 1. Oh, 2 count. And now Irish whip. Let's see what Nikki's going to do here. Getting all fired up. Ooh, alley-oop. And now tag back to Revy. And now Tammy, look at this. Oh, using the axe kick, the butterfly kick. One of her old finishers. And now applying another cheerleader leg drop, this time to Revy. Let's see, Tammy. Oh, springboard enziguri. And now Lisa Vasquez getting tagged in. The Cuban hottie. I know there's another Cuban hottie out there in the real world that's similar to Lisa Vasquez, former MMA fighter, Cuban descent, also from Miami, Florida. I think you've heard the name, Lola Vice. So Lisa Vasquez is practically Lola Vice before Lola Vice. And now look at this. Countered by Revy. And look now, man, hard kicks there from the XGWL Women's World Champion now. Look at that. Oh, knee to the mush. Because the styles are so different and yet similar between Tammy and Revy. Whereas Revy is no nonsense. Tammy is very flashy with her moves. But they're both strike first. And Lisa Vasquez with that MMA background, that blend of technical submissions and strikes. Now Tammy getting tagged back in. I remember a few years ago during the Queens of Wrestling qualifying matches, doing a bit of a storyline how Tammy wasn't included in. And now look at this. And Jade Kim looking to land a big move here. Couple of elbows to the head of Tammy. And now look at this. Oh! Damn! Poison Rana. And now tags her tag team partner. And now we're about to see, look at this combination of maneuvers. Swanton by Nikki. Cover. 1, 2. And Tammy kicking out. Let's see. Another twist of fate, and now Jade Kim going with a swanton of her own. Had to learn that from teaming up with Nikki for many years. And Jade Kim picks up the win over the Beehive. I don't work quite a lot this week because I know I did get some PTO, paid time off for this past weekend to visit my brother out in Arizona for one of my nephew's birthdays. That's what I'm going to use my PTO, is just to visit my brother out there. Because I really haven't had a real vacation in many years. Okay, let's get our main event going. As well, thank you for being here, Cheese. And now let's get our main event with the Snakes of Chaos. I know Sherman was in the chat. He will be calling the Pofas a poo-poo or a trouser snake. And yeah, Sergeant Arturo Loco is based off my actual brother. So in the real world, the difference between us is I'm 1 inch taller, I'm 1 year older, and I'm usually the heavier of the two. And he's serving in our military in the reserves. I know him for a long time. He was active duties. And here comes the Snakes of Chaos. One thing I should do on the live streams, only play one match, because I tend to just let the AI simulate and give us a good show. But one thing that I've heard about on 2K26 is to an option to have to go home. As in, for those who are not aware of the wrestling lingo, the insider terms, the go home is like to have the match come to a conclusive finish. And yeah, here comes Jimmy Apophis, Nick Mary. Someone, that's part of the legendary Nick Mary dynasty, where his father, Mario Nick Mary, and then his grandfather, Vincent Nick Mary, has won championships in both WFA back in the day, as well as Southern California CEW. And his great-grandfather, Enzo Nick Mary, from their home country of Italy. And of course his two children, Marcus and Zion Nick Mary. To my knowledge, Marcus Nick Mary exclusively wrestles in Blacklist CEW, and Zion Nick Mary wrestles both in Blacklist CEW and in WCDL. I think also in WFA, if I'm not mistaken. As Apophis has his Snakes of Chaos. I thought there were 3 of them. Why isn't there a 3rd one? And they keep changing. Because at first there was a gold snake, then there was a green snake, and then there was a blue snake, and then now you have this death snake. One thing, like how I mentioned, to be consistency in the particulars and on who's on the roster. As we have here Los Hermanos, XtremeTony and his actual real-life brother, Sergeant Arturo Loco. Yep. Now here comes the XGWL Ultimate World Heavyweight Champion, Trey Steele. One thing I definitely need to do, I need to definitely start to improve his social media presence. Because after all, he is the franchise player here in XGWL. He is the man, the guy, however, whatever moniker or term you want to use. He is our world champion. How he has his catchphrase, his tagline, and nothing is stronger than steel. And let's get this party started as the playmakers starting things off against Good death snake. Or that amateur style takedown that he learned from Apollo. And a little bit from his father-in-law, Bradley Wright. And look at this playmaker. Ooh, float over DDT. Look at that elbow to the back. And the one thing the playmaker has learned is to attack her body. Of course, real life influence there from Bret Hart. One of my favorites of all time. Now look at this. Snap suplex. How good is the back? That's another float over DDT. And tagging in his brother, Sergeant Arturo Loco. One thing, Sergeant Arturo Loco is more of a high flyer than his brother. He's in the Cruzeiro division, about 5'7", 195 pounds. And now the tag to the Red Snake. The level of toughness those rivals Sherman Sampson. That high flying ability. One to the well once too often. There's one thing is that really kick. Sergeant Arturo Loco's style is that mix of American high flying and Mexican lucha libre. A good counter by. Damn, a counter after counter. And now the playmaker getting tagged back in. And now look at this playmaker going for the lightning bolt. And as a friend would say, it's super effective in the save by the Death Snake. Now we're gonna end things here with the Padre Popper. And go. Look at the strength here. And now Apollo's getting tagged in. And now Trey Steele getting tagged in finally. Possibly a preview of who might be the next challenger for Trey Steele's XGWL for a world title. One thing about Trey Steele, a bit of a conquering hero, if you will. Let's say for another stalling suplex. That blend of power and technical ability. And now look at this. Ooh, leg drop, brother. And Trey Steele may have been busted open after that. Hopefully they're trying to make a case for himself why he should be the next one to challenge. Oh, so they tweak that. And now look at this. Showcasing that amateur wrestling style. The gut wrench. Now, Sergeant Not Cool, local getting tagged in. And now look at this, using cheap, dirty tactics. Suplex by Apophis. Covering out. 3 count. And now the Red Snake being tagged in. He just tripped him up off himself to a sharpshooter. Yeah, look at that clothesline. He catches him off guard with that pull-up. And now look at this, going for the Air Force Face Buster. Cover now. And the Pulses with the save. Down. Oh, the vicious powerbomb. And now the Death Snake getting tagged in. And Sergeant Not Cool up will try to get his senses together. Given that he's the smallest man in this match, and he outweighed by at least 50 pounds. Cover. And the Playmaker with the save. Playmaker being tagged back in. And I was going after the arm, just wrenching away. And the Playmaker continuing to work on the arm. Man, what a kick! And Sergeant Not Cool, local getting the save. And now Pulfus getting tagged back in. Now look at this Charger suplex. Playmaker looking to put things away here with the Padre Popper. Ooh, there it is. Pop, pop, pop them to the ground. And now the cover. And the red snake with the save. Now Sergeant Abdullah again tagged back in. Air Force face buster again. Apophis denied that. Good job just continuously to work on the leg of Apophis. Sergeant Abdullah was taking a lot of damage throughout the match here. Damn. I think that last punch may have busted open Sergeant Abdullah local. Trips him up and now going for the sharpshooter. Oh, these snakes are just too strong. Now look at this. Another Air Force face buster. Cover. 1, 2. Ooh. Alright, go for it again. Air Force face buster. Yep, now cover. 1, 2. Another kick out. Got Trace Field being tagged in. Yeah, a couple of backbreakers in the heel toss. Trying to go for a lead. Calvin Lake played it. Now really it's a Apophis. It's like right in front of his boys, playing up for the Reese Saturn. And that's Nate tapping out. Yeah, we go through the highlights here in our main event. What a win by Trace Field and Los Hermanos. As Trace Field was able to close it out here, as we're about to do right now, close out the show. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. So if you like what you see, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends all over the socials. with all that being said, this has been your homeboy Extreme Tony. Thank you all for watching. Como siempre, I bid you guys adios. We'll see you guys next time.